we're in a psyop. We have to understand we're in an informational war. Up is down, everything's backwards, and that's to wake up the people and to expose everything in this last 100 years that we've been living with the enemy. I call it the enemy's playground. The enemy created a playground
And
on
I just
God's
want
earth.
to say too, Jordan, like a lot of people on my channel probably don't know a lot about Q. I know some people that watch do know about Q, but not everybody does. And so
Mhm.
it would be interesting to get your perspective at some point, like what Q is saying about AI and like what that direction and is going to be going with that, because I think it does have a lot of us worried. I think there was a couple comments too saying like AI is, I don't think people know entirely what to make of the whole agenda as a whole. You know, we have that open AI and uh, the Stargate, operation that's going down in Josephine, Texas, and all of those things. And I do know that takes a lot of organic resources just to power those things. Like I'm definitely like, I love Mother Earth, and the Stargates and just everything we have are natural resources of energy,
Yeah.
and so all of that to power AI and to build all that infrastructure, it takes a lot from the natural organic energy systems.
You know anyone that's actually been there?
No, but
I
I would
don't. I
like to
don't
go
either.
there. I would like to
I
go.
don't. Yeah, I would really like to see what if it actually is what they say it is. I've never even met someone, and I've lived in 5 cities in Texas. So I'm really curious if it's part of the psyop or all I know is that Trump exposes people. Let me give you very good example. And yes, we are under a military operation. We've all been born into it. Q is a military operation that's been going on for probably 70 years. And I have done beyond research, but it's becoming more apparently obvious for obviously, people that like myself who connect with different platforms and we call it the Q board. But, Trump is a phenomenal with exposing people. So let me give you an example. Fauci, like
Mhm.
back in during the pandemic, you'll know when Trump's exposing someone because he stands over their shoulder and he gives them that look, right? So let me give you an example. SoftBank and whoever that was when SoftBank came out, and I think who's the guy like 3-4 months ago with AI? It was him, that little Chinese guy from that owns SoftBank, and the guy with AI. That, anyways,
Sam Altman or something?
no, it was an older guy, but there was like a press conference. It was just Trump, and it was the little Chinese guy from the owner of SoftBank, and then the other guy pushing AI as like a cure for cancers and stuff. Um, I don't remember his name, but you'll always know Trump's exposing them because there's no one else from the cabinet. So there was no one else there. It was just Trump. And I always tell people on my shows, have you heard a single thing from those guys anymore? No, not a thing. So a lot of it, remember, we have to show the people. They have to witness and say, I don't like that. Like what you're doing right now. I don't like that. And then Trump says, okay, well, the people have spoken. So just because it's being put out there on a lot of things doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Mhm.
I'm not saying whatever's in Texas isn't there, but we are at war, and the art of war is to never. The art of war from Sun Tzu is to never, interfere with the enemy while they're destroying themselves. Right now, you're seeing the exposure of literally everything, trafficking to our money laundering, our taxes were never even beneficial. Look at everything that's happening in other countries. All these judges, Democrats trying to keep illegals here. It's like Trump's just sitting back and letting them destroy themselves. And in the meantime, I think he's also with the military doing amazing things to protect the country and bring free energy back here soon. Eventually, you heard about the nuclear stuff recently. But there's just a bigger picture that we fully don't all understand yet. And I just hope people realize that it's important to stay in, with God and discernment and don't always believe everything that's on the screens, right? Um, Panic will destroy you, obviously. But I just know there's people that have very good knowledge of the Q operation, like me, and I found God more through Q. But then there's people on Instagram and Facebook who only know Revelation and the canonized Bible, and they're pushing like, oh my gosh, it's end times. Like, this is it. This is mark of the beast. There ain't no mark of the beast. This is not the end times. Do you know how many people were dying during World War II and the Holocaust? And what do you think they
True.
were saying? I bet you they were saying the same thing. Like, this is it. So it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's an amazing time to be alive. And I think, what you're doing, and God gave me the ability to have a second chance and to share what he did in my life. But we are on a mission to defeat the enemy.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on my show and sharing all of this with us today. It's been very enlightening. I would love to learn more about Q. I feel like you know so much more about this, and I feel like you could really enlighten me and enlighten everyone watching. Um,
I'd love to.
but
Yeah. Yeah. It
yeah,
was so
yeah,
last, people don't know it was so last minute too. We just barely set this up. I
yeah,
said, hey,
yeah. Well, this is
let's
our first time ever actually talking too, so we're kind of like, wait, what's going on here? So, I mean, it's really cool though. I like how you're sharing about Q. I feel like you're honestly the first person I've seen, like, super publicly sharing about Q, like, on the level that you are, like, you're really putting it out there, and I feel like it's helping people to learn more about it, and, like, what you said the other day on Instagram, how that it's actually Trump and, like, RFK Jr. that are actually Q, which I was like, "That would make sense, actually."
Well, so everybody knows Q is a military operation. Q clearance is the highest clearance um, when it comes to intel, like the NSA. So Q clearance is like very few people have that clearance. So Q is a very big operation. There's Q plus, which is the president Trump. He's admitted that, like, so. And again, it's all over the Q board, but yeah. So Q is not just one person. It's a military operation that communicates with us through social media, comms on different accounts like Dan Scavino, Trump on Truth Social will put certain things out, and we connect it to the Q board. Where in 2017, the first little drop of information came out about Hillary being arrested, and then from 2017 to 2020, 22, all these crumbs, we call it 4,700 and something crumbs of pure factual information about what's happening right now was put on a Q board. And it's absolutely mind blowing. It's like, how did people know this was happening? Like, how did people know it was coming? And, I don't know, time travel. I don't know. Maybe there's an operation going on and we're watching a movie and they're in control of the script. But I just know that we had a very, very evil enemy cabal, demonic, spiritual, very bad bloodline of families that has tried to destroy this earth for a long time. And it's amazing to watch it come to an end. And we're going to be alive to witness that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd really like to open up the Q conversation at some point and just kind of get your perspective on all of the things that are kind of happening all over the globe and, everything from the holy wars to the AI agendas to, just everything, really, and kind of see where your perspective lies. But I appreciate you so much
Yeah.
for doing the show tonight and thank you for coming on the channel. Um, Thank you for coming to teach at the Live Health
Yeah.
and
Tell everyone about all my followers and stuff, about I'll pull it up here, the event in June.
yeah, so um basically it's going to be a 3-day virtual retreat, a transformational weekend that's just really devoted to the holistic healing, spiritual empowerment, sacred integration of body, mind, and soul. And we have an amazing group of teachers that kind of specialize across the board in all realms of health and wellness. And it's just to really support everyone going through this time that might be struggling with their health in some way. Um, and maybe it's you're not struggling with your health, but maybe it's more emotional, maybe it's more, spiritual, however it is. It's just going to be a weekend, a community event where people can come and join these live webinar classes. We're going to have classes rolling all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and different classes you can attend. We have teachers, Marguerite Regaglioso, PhD. She's amazing. She's going to be coming in and teaching about womb health. And we got Corey Ellis, the EMF guy, who's going to be teaching about EMF. So, I mean, he's very scientific with it and everything. He's got all of his, machines and stuff,
Yep.
and all of their designs and patents that they have to protect people. And so it's just, all over the board, but we got a lot of, real world solutions for deep healing and lasting transformation. And I think that's what's going to be most important and significant, is just a little bit of this and a little bit of that for everyone who, maybe this will resonate with you. Maybe, this not so much. It's kind of out of your realm, but another teacher we have is Sarah Dawkins. She's going to be talking about fatigue and depression and how to kind of like overcome some of these things. And another gal, Ani Sophine, she's amazing. She talks about the root cause of like illness, sickness, and disease, and how to measure out the metabolic aspect of the body, and um, also get to the root cause of it, which is like the mother mitochondria and all of these things being affected, like really taking a lot of scientific approaches to healing. So, everything from fasting to detox to parasite cleanses. I think we're going to be talking about it all. I think your class is going to be amazing as well. Kind of people will definitely have an opportunity to engage in more question and answer, to ask you real
Yep.
questions.
Yep.
And we don't have time to go into it today, but I mean, I think that's where we're going to go in your class is, where are you now? How are you
Mhm.
caring for yourself now? What are the things you're doing to recover from this situation with your heart, and how people can like try those things and implement them in their lives as well. And hopefully this helps people get like a good jump start on their health and make a comeback for 2025, because I think we all could use it right now, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Yep. And I'm glad that's what, yep. So that's definitely something I'll be going over in the hour or two I have, 2 hours, and, just reemphasizing the important things that we need to do and acknowledge with heart disease. And it'll be a good time. And I look forward to meeting your people. Obviously, we'll see anybody from my following comes through, but June 12th, a Saturday, and that's 11 Eastern, right? Yep.
Oh yeah, I'm
Scrolling at the
sorry.
bottom.
June 6th, 7th, and 8th. Yeah.
I will be June 7th at 11, but her go to her website, guys, and the information's there for the entire weekend, 6th through the 8th.